Hello world on Twist, and thank God I get to do part 2 for this Raw recap and review from July 27, 2026 in Los Angeles, California. And we left off with the Joe Hendry, Danhausen, the Hendryhausen uh, concert, the jailhousing, whatever you want to call it, concert getting ruined. But then we get right into our third match of the night, and it's Rey Mysterio with the pants on versus Ethan Page. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be Dragon Lee in this match, but he got injured. He injured his thumb, so Rey Mysterio subbed in. OG coming in the ring, and they start the match off with a big tie-up, which leads to then grabbing him up and slamming him down onto the ground, right into a big headlock he has onto him. But Rey Mysterio gets up, grabs his arm, and puts him to some arm manipulation. But Ethan Page says, you know what, my turn. Let me get your arm, put you into some manipulation. Hits him with an Irish whip right into a big shoulder tackle, knocking him down. And then he Irish whips him again, but this time Rey Mysterio hits a big elbow of his own. Then a little reversal of a move, slamming him down. 1, 2, kick out from Ethan. Then that leads to an Irish whip by Rey into a big Rana onto then he ends up getting into the position for the 619. You know what that means. He had the rope, goes forward, but a big kick by Ethan in the midsection. He grabbed that man, hit him with a big power bomb, but that gets turned into that gets reversed into a West Coast pop by Rey. He knocks him down. And as he's walking towards Ethan Page near the corner, Ethan grabs him, slams him right into the corner. Then as he's in the corner, he starts stumping on him back and forth in the corner. He picks him up and hits him with a big Irish whip into the corner and grabs the arm and starts hitting with some arm manipulation. Then that leads to Rey fighting back, and he jumps on top of that man's shoulders, and then Hurricanranas him to the outside of the ring, but he's still holding on to his shoulders back right there. Rey gets flipped around by Ethan. He grabs him and then gets power bombed on the apron by Ethan Page, and that's him going to a commercial break. And I ain't gonna lie, that power bomb was nasty, Rey. Why you taking them bumps at your old age, twin? You don't gotta do that, Unc. You don't gotta do that. We get back from the commercial break with them on the top rope with Ethan Page, like always when he fights a luchador, tries to take off the mask, but Rey stops him. He gets him off of him, punches him back down, and then goes for the moonsault off the top rope. By the way, this is Unc, by the way. I love Rey Mysterio, man. Hall of Famer and still cooking. And that leads to Rey trying to hit an Irish whip, but that gets stopped by Ethan. But then he stops him by hitting him with a big enziguri right into the 619 position. He hits the rope, but a big boot by Ethan Page, knocking that man down. And then, but Rey fights back, hits that man with a Hurricanrana right into the ring post, shoulder first into him. But Ethan Page tries to hit an Irish whip on him, but he gets hit with a tilt-a-whirl Hurricanrana, slammed down, hits into the corner. That leaves Rey to get the 10 punches in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then he Irish whips to the other corner. He's running towards Ethan, but he gets lifted over. But Rey hits him with a punch while he's on the apron, goes to the top rope, hits the senton, slam it down onto Ethan Page. And then he tries to go for a springboard onto Ethan Page, but that gets caught by Ethan. Big power slam by Ethan Page. Then he tries to go for the lift up slam on the Rey, but Rey turns that into a big tornado DDT. Cool sequence. 1, 2, but kick out from Ethan. That leads to them now fighting back and forth into the top rope. And Rey finds a way to knock Ethan down to the outside. And he jumps off the top rope into a Hurricanrana into the announce table. Crazy. That leads to them getting back into the ring. Rey does the kick to put that man into the 619 position. As he's going for the 619, Ethan uses the apron. And that's for some reason is a big block for him. Goes for the 619. Boom, it stops. He gets him on the he gets him on the apron, grabs him, throws him to the ring post, gets him to the ring, hits that man with the Egoplex. 1, 2, 3, ego. Really good match, back and forth. Rey Mysterio and Ethan Page's chemistry, great. They've had a couple matches on Raw, and they've been good every time. I think this might be one of their best ones too, because of the moves that get involved. But I don't like the finish. I don't like the finish at all. Like the apron being the reason the 619 doesn't affect you. Are we serious? But I enjoyed the match. Ethan needed a win on a legend like this, so good for him. I give that match overall 4 stars. And I wonder what they're gonna do with next with Ethan. You know, this IC title picture, like, it's really, really good. You know, but somebody gonna have to lose. Then we get backstage sequence with the Mini-Housens being cared for, and Danhausen hurt backstage in his lair. And Adam Pearce says, "Hey man, It's time to give up the money, man. I can't be having this problem with this back and forth. And Dan's like, never. We're never doing that. And he says, you know what? Put the human monies on a pole. Adam Pearce's like, on a pole? Like, yes, on a pole. You ain't never seen wrestling before? He said, you know what? It's official. I need a drink. Adam Pearce, I know he be drunk after the show. He tired. Then we get back outside to the ring, and we got the Usos. The Usos pop out. They come out through the crowd, get the little yeet on. They get into the ring. Jimmy has the mic. He says, the bloodline is now in your city. And Jay gets the mic. He says, you know, I have a message for all the opponents of the bloodline. I got a message for my opponent at SummerSlam. This is your warning shot. Bow! But when he says it, he doesn't say the bow. Someone else says the bow, and that's their brother, Solo Sikoa, who's on the apron going, bow, pew, 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 bow, bow, pew, pew, making gun sounds. Hilarious. Solo is hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. He's one of the funniest wrestlers in WWE right now. He says, you know, it's funny you said the bloodline is here, but I don't see the bloodline because the real bloodline had me involved in it. And he says that at SummerSlam, they don't have a chance against him, Royce Keys, LA Knight. And that leads to Jimmy going on to say, you know what? When are you going to stop this facade acting like you don't want to come back to the bloodline? You need to just do the right thing, follow the play that Roman Reigns is saying, and join, or else. And Solo said, or else? What are you going to do? Send me another warning shot? Or are you going to yeet me to death for 30 minutes? Like, no. He says, I don't need to be with y'all because I love where I'm at. And even everybody here in LA knows they love where I'm at too. At least the crowd going on to a Solo chant, Solo, Solo. So that was great to see. And he says he has a warning shot for them. He says, why don't you go tell Roman he can kiss my ass? I'm like, oh, Solo's definitely going to turn now. He talking spicy. That leads to him mentioning who's going to be a match. And then L.A. Knight, yeah. Me and Solo have the same mindset when it comes to this. We want to knock y'all down. He says, you know, there is a chance that eventually down the line, you can get Solo on the same page. Y'all can be all kumbaya. You can do your little haka dance. I was like, that's crazy. But he says, right now, y'all got to pay penance for all the problems you guys have done. And he says, in 5 days, the clock is ticking. And I'm going to see y'all at SummerSlam. And he's finna head out to the stage. But he goes, you know what? Turn around. He said, you know what? We can, like, get this little fade in. They jump into the ring. Big brawl between them, back and forth, back and forth. But the equalizer is when Jacob Fatu pops out. And then he knocks both of them down. LA and Solo hits the double hip attacks on them. Double back and forth. And that leads to Royce Keys popping out. He's coming down the stage. He grabs Jimmy, throws him to the bear kick into the ring. He's slaying that man Jay down. That leads to a face-off between Royce Keys and Fatu, into a big strike exchange back and forth between both of them. It leads to him then hitting a big clothesline on the one of the Usos. But then as that distraction, Jacob Fatu puts the tongue and death grip on the Royce Keys. Solo gets him, grabs him, big spike onto him, which leads to a spine buster onto him by Royce Keys. Then a big BFT by LA Knight on the Fatu. Fatu has to retreat, and in the middle of the ring, we got LA, Royce Keys, Solo looking valiant, looking triumphant, and they're definitely going to lose at SummerSlam because I feel like every time you get hold the show before you're having your match, you're going to win because you can't look bad back to forth. Like it would be burying you if you look bad back to back. You know what I'm saying? But I can't wait to see that match. I wonder what they're gonna do. I would love for it to be a tornado tag though. I think it would be better if you tornado tag like that. When people have that much animosity, it should be a tornado tag match every time. Getting into our last match of the night, but it's not the main event. And it is for the Intercontinental title. We have the challenger, Big Mommy Cool Raquel Rodriguez versus the champion, Sol Ruca. And they start the match off. Instantly get into it. Raquel tries to land a big boot on the Sol, but Sol does the dodge, kip up, matrix kip up, boom, right there. Into then hitting a big springboard onto Raquel, but that gets caught. She drops down, hits the rope, and then tries to go for a hip toss on the Sol, but Sol dodges out of that and then turning it into a big X Factor, knocking Raquel right on her face. Goes for a pin. 1, 2, kick out from Raquel. Raquel gets back up, grabs her for a big belly to belly throw, suplex, slamming her down. And then that leads to her getting into the corner. She hits it with the big multiple back corner elbows, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But then she tries to land another elbow off the ropes, but that gets missed by her. So hits her with a big kick. She knocks her down and then hits her with a big standing moonsault. Goes for the pin. 1, 2, kick out from Raquel. That leads to Raquel then trying to go for the clothesline, but that gets dodged by Soul right into another clothesline. I love that move. I love when she do that little clothesline miss to the other clothes. That's a fire move. She then grabs Soul, puts her on the rope, chokes her with her knee, and then picks her up, goes for the Irish whip, but Soul catches her with and Soul tries to go for her Hurricanrana, but she gets caught. But Soul hits her with a Hurricanrana, throws it to the ropes. That leads to her going to the outside of the ring. Raquel, she stands up, and Soul goes to the top rope, hits an outside moonsault onto her. But as she does it, she elbowed her, and Raquel is bleeding throughout the match. She grits her back into the ring, goes for the pin. 1, 2, kick out from Raquel, though. At least the Raquel getting up, bleeding. Irish whips her into the corner, hits her with a big slash, right into a big power slam, knocking her down. 1, 2, kick out from Soul this time, though. That leads to Soul then trying to fight back and punches back and forth, but Raquel stops her down by hitting her with a big shoulder tackle and then going for a pin right there, kicking out of it, but then grabs her arm for a big rest hold, wrenching on it, and the ref grabs the towel, wipes down most of the blood on her face. And but Soul fights out of it. She's in the corner. She hits multiple boots back and forth onto Raquel, and then turns her around, hits her with a interesting like double foot backstabber onto her. Then hits her with a big punching combo, Irish whips her, and then Raquel tries to take advantage by hitting a big back body drop on her, but she lands right on her feet. Soul ends up doing a little Io Sky similar leg trip, knocking her down, and then grabs her and then flips her over for the sliced bread. And hits her with a big nasty running knee, which is that move be looking like a finisher. I'm not gonna lie, she needs to make that like a finish or something. If that Soul Snatcher messes up the back, she got to do that as a finisher. That move nasty. Goes for the pin though. 1, 2. Kick out from Raquel. Then at least the Soul then jumping off the springboard on the Raquel, but Raquel catches her. They walk over to the apron. She jumps over the apron, grabs her, pulls her down right on the apron, goes to the top rope, and then does a cartwheel DDT on the Raquel. 1, 2, another kick out from Raquel. And that gets to the bullshit. We get the distraction. Roxanne gets into the ring from one side. Soul bypasses that, goes to the other side, and that leads to Liv grabbing onto the leg, which leads to a big boot by Raquel. 1, 2, kick out from Soul. She wanna be champ. That leads to Io Sky popping out, and then Liv instantly stopped that right down, slamming her into a ring post. She finna slam her again, but this time Io reverses her and then throws her into the ring post. That leads to Raquel then grabbing Io Sky by the hair, putting her up on the apron. With that distraction, Soul turns Raquel around, hits with a big cold breaker. That leads to a double down between them, and then Liv hits and then Io hits a big bullet train on the Liv while she's on the apron. That leads to them both being down, but Soul gets up this time, tries to go for the Soul Snatcher with Raquel in the corner, but don't forget, Roxanne is still there. She gets involved, slams her head into the ring post. That leads to the big Tejana bomb by Raquel. Slam her down. 1, 2, 3. Good dub for Big Mommy. Cool. She finally gets her singles belt. Really good match back and forth. And shout out to her. I'm pretty sure she broke her nose off that moonsault spot. So shout out to her for keeping it pushing, keep going through it, because it was some nasty spots after that looked like that could really mess up her nose. She kept it going. Obviously, she wanted to be champ. But it was a good growing pains back and forth with Soul. I feel like Soul, next time she has a belt, it's going to be a even way smoother, better run. I still don't know if the whole Soul Snatcher thing was her messing up or like a storyline. We're going to have to wait till Unreal, right? Am I right, guys? But good to see Raquel Rodriguez get some gold on her. Overall, I give that match a 4-star match. Very fun, very enjoyable, but shenanigans hamper down the points a little bit. Even if it is entertaining, like I feel like you shouldn't need them most of the time, especially when a championship match. Like let's see who the best woman is. You know what I'm saying? That is obviously not the main event because Roman Reigns is here tonight, and we're doing the Roman Reigns Seth Rollins face off. Roman Reigns pops out first. We go to a commercial break. We get back into the ring with Roman. He's ready. He says, "Los Angeles, burn it down." Oh. Oh, Seth pops out into the ring and says, "Los Angeles, acknowledge me." And Roman says, that's how you ruin a great thing. You know what? And you're an asshole. And Seth's like, "Guilty. You got me." He said, "I get it. I'm the bad guy in this storyline. I'm the bad guy. You know what? I'm cool with it, because some of us out here in life are just handed down stuff. And some of us, like me, grind for what we want." But he says, you know what? He's not bitter. He's not upset. He says, "Roman, you are everything they say you are. You are everything you say you are. Even though they gave you the stuff, you still shot through the moon. You're still the greatest superstar right now." He says, "You're the biggest star right now, and you're the top of your class, and you're better than me, and all these other things. But it's one thing you'll never be better than me at, and that is professional wrestling." He says, "Like always and forever, I own you. I own your ass. And in that thick skull of yours, I own what's in there too. I own you." And he says, "So why do you think anything is going to be any different at SummerSlam? What are you gonna do? You're gonna hit me with a chair again? You're gonna use maybe the bloodline this time to interfere that way to help you beat me?" He says, "Roman, you don't stand a chance." And that leads to Roman saying, "You know what, Seth? You just don't get it, huh? You just don't get it. Like, when I say that I need to beat you," he said, "you just don't get it." He said, "Listen, I am the only real superstar here, and I am the only true champ here." And he says, "When I say I need to beat you, Seth, I need to beat you. I really need it. I need it. The world needs it. My family needs it. They all need to see me beat you." Now, it's Seth going, "You know what, huh? It's interesting. It's funny how you hamper on your family needing to see you win." And I get it now. It reminds me of WrestleMania 31, where your whole family was there to watch you beat Brock Lesnar. But I came in, got involved, and I made your whole family cry. And he says, "You know what? I would love to see them cry again. So I hope every one of them is at SummerSlam." And he says, "I hope your kids are there so they can know that their dad is a loser and he's a fraud and that he's Seth Rollins, bitch." Ha ha. And Roman says, "I'm not going for that." Bow! Knock that man down. Hitting it back and forth. Hit that man with a big Superman punch. You have to hit that spear right down in that man. At least the Seth trying to use the rope to get up, and he's in that position. He's in the Shield steel chair position. It's a steel chair. He's going to the ring. He's down. Seth is playing possum. He instantly goes for the stump right on his head on the steel chair. And he says, "Look, I'm in your head. I own you. I own you." And that is the credits roll after that. Roman versus Seth is going to be the closer for SummerSlam. It's going to be night 2's a main event. And I can't wait to see it. I think it's going to be a really good match. But I also know that, let's be honest, Roman's going to get his win. He's going to beat Seth. There's no way they're never going to have Seth Rollins lose to Roman Reigns. It's like having Io Sky never lose to Rhea Ripley. You have to do it. They have to have at least one win, And I can't wait to see it happen. But overall, I can't wait for that. SummerSlam's going to be great. But for Raw, this show is going to give it a thumbs up. Really good, entertaining show. Good matches, good segments, good sequences, especially with SummerSlam coming up. They could have phoned it in a little bit more, but, got some good matches in. Got a good title matches in. Now, that is going to be the end of part 2. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe to the channel for more. We do these every week. And also the PLEs, especially important with coming up this weekend. We got SummerSlam August 1st, August 2nd. The review for the night 1 will come out on the 2nd. The review for night 2 will come out on the 3rd, which will be on a Monday. And that Monday's review will come out on the 4th, on that Tuesday. We're going to get the 3-peat in. And also, we might have a little W2K26 video coming out later that week as well. Also, when I'm not doing YouTube, I also enjoy doing music. And I even promoted on the first part of this names on all streaming sites. Haters Twist. Dropping my second project with my great friend. Swear God, we worked really hard on this. Check the link in the description if you want to pre-save the album. It's coming out the 1st. Check the link in the description if you want to pre-save the project. It's called HTSG2. Haters Twist on all platforms. Listen to the lead single out right now, Martinelli's My Favorite Drink. I'm Twist. Remember, y'all, Jesus loves you. Until always keep God first. I'm out.